Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into something really fascinating, this idea that a luxury car can be so much more than just a way to get around. We're going to explore how certain high-end cars, specifically from Mercedes-Benz, can actually work as powerful financial assets.
So let's just start with this question, right? What if your car was also your bank? It's a pretty wild thought, but it gets right to the heart of what we're talking about today. The idea of unlocking the money that's tied up in something you own without actually having to sell it.
And that brings us to this core concept, luxury asset-backed lending. It's really just a discreet way for people to get their hands on funds by using the value of something they already own, like a prized car, to get a short-term loan.
And this is where a brand like Mercedes-Benz really comes into the picture. Because of its history, its engineering, its pure status, a lot of its models are seen as perfect collateral. We're not talking about just any old car here. We're talking about very specific vehicles that can back some really significant loans.
So why the three-pointed star? What is it about Mercedes-Benz that makes it so perfect for this? Let's break down exactly what makes these cars such a reliable asset in the first place. First, just a quick refresher so we're all on the same page. Collateral is basically just an asset you put up as a guarantee for a loan. In this case, the car itself secures the money, which gives the lender a safety net and makes the whole process really straightforward for the borrower.
And really, it all boils down to these three things. Mercedes-Benz has this incredible brand recognition all over the world. That means there's always a huge pool of people who want to buy them, and they have these long, clear histories at auctions. For a lender, that's perfect. It means the car's value is stable and easy to prove. It's a known quantity.
All right, let's get to the fun part and talk about some of the actual cars, starting with the modern heavy hitters. These are the status symbols of today, packed with the latest tech and performance, and they hold a ton of value.
And I mean, you can't talk about modern status symbols without bringing up the G-Class. What an absolute icon. It started life as this bare-bones military vehicle and somehow became one of the most recognizable luxury SUVs on the entire planet.
I love this quote. It just nails it. The journey of the G-Wagon is just incredible. It kept its boxy, tough-as-nails look, but Mercedes added these monster engines and super plush interiors, and boom, it's a rolling status symbol.
And that kind of status comes with a very real, very big price tag. Late-model G500s, and especially the newer AMG G63s, they are easily commanding prices deep into the six-figure range. That is a massive amount of capital just sitting in one vehicle. Okay, next up is a true modern classic, the Mercedes SLS AMG. This car was just special right from the get-go, not just for its insane design and performance, but because it was a direct tribute to one of the greatest cars in history. And this just says it all. It was built to be a modern tribute to the legendary 300 SL Gullwing. It even has those incredible upward opening doors. But what's also super important is that this was the very first car developed from the ground up entirely by AMG. That gives it a really special place in history.
So you put that unique blend of history and modern muscle together, and what do you get? You get a car that's sitting comfortably in the mid to high six-figure bracket. That makes it one of the absolute best modern cars you could possibly use as collateral for a big loan.
So, we've got these modern icons, right? Their value is all about status and tech. But there's a whole other level. Now we're going to talk about the timeless legends. And here, the reasons for their value completely change. We're talking about heritage, rarity, and historical significance. And the price tag? Well, it jumps into a whole new dimension. Yeah, now we're talking about timeless investment pieces. With these classic cars, it's not about the infotainment screen or driver assists. The value here comes from something totally different. It's about pure design, engineering firsts, and a level of rarity that makes them true blue-chip assets.
And wow, if we're going to talk about classics, we have to start at the absolute pinnacle, the Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing. Even if you're not a huge car person, you know this car. It's simply one of the most famous and valuable cars ever made.
And its place in history is what's so crucial. This wasn't just a pretty face, it was a technological monster born from a race car. It had fuel injection, which was wild back then, and it was the fastest production car in the world. It basically invented the whole idea of a supercar.
And that legendary status? Well, it comes with a truly mind-boggling price tag. Good examples of the 300 SL are firmly in the seven-figure bracket. We're talking low to mid-million-pound prices. At this point, it's less of a car and more of a rolling piece of art. Now, Let's look at another type of classic, one that's all about pure, timeless elegance and style. The 280 SL, which everyone lovingly calls the Pagoda. It wasn't a fire-breathing supercar. It was this incredibly beautiful and refined Grand Tourer.
And you know, there's this fantastic little detail about it. That famous nickname, Pagoda, actually comes from its design. The removable hardtop has this unique, slightly inward curve, which looks just like the roof of an East Asian pagoda. It's a small thing, but it adds so much character.
Now, look, it's not in the same million-pound league as the Gullwing, but don't underestimate it. A beautifully restored or a perfectly original pagoda can easily push into six-figure values. That makes them super desirable and very liquid assets on the classic car market.
So it's pretty clear, right? These vehicles are obviously so much more than just cars. They are real, tangible assets that have significant provable value. So how would you actually go about tapping into that value?
Well, the process itself is actually very professional and simple. It all starts with an expert valuation of the car. From there, a specific loan offer is put together, and if you accept, the car is then put into a secure, climate-controlled, and fully insured storage facility for the whole loan period. It's a really simple and discreet financial tool.
And that really leaves us with one final thought, doesn't it? Whether it's a car, a watch, or a piece of art, what we've seen today is that real value can be hiding in some pretty unexpected places. It just makes you wonder, what hidden value might be sitting in your own collection? Thanks for joining me.